Let's talk about why dev traits do not matter and why you should focus more on rating caps in college football 25. If y'all enjoy this style of content, make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that, man. Check out a few things on my channels. I got a bunch of different videos about college football 25. Got my Temple University Dynasty rebuild, so make sure y'all check all that out. Alright, so for this file, we went with Colorado, and pretty much I did that because I'm most familiar with this lineup. And then also with a lot of these guys' development traits, I also send a bunch of years in the future. So I pretty much have experience, I know these guys' development traits. I know kind of how they progress, definitely when it comes to this wide receiver room. And look, the top four guys in this wide receiver room, this is an elite wide receiver room, first of all. They got Travis Hunter, Jimmy Horn, LeJounte Wester, some top guys in the wide receiver room, but they're all seniors. And then you have Travis Hunter, who is a junior, but he'll go to the NFL after this season. So after that, you have some lower overall guys, and you think they really would develop to be some great players once you see their overalls and then also their development traits. So you got Russell right here. They call him Baby T.O. in real life. He's a 4-star with the star development trait. You would expect him to develop into a very good player, but from my experience, he tends not to. Then you got Omarion Miller, a 3-star impact guy. You would expect him to develop into at least a solid player. Then you got Cam McHale, true freshman, 96 speed. And then you look at his actual development trait, star development trait, that he's a 4-star prospect. You will also expect this guy to develop into a guy as well. And then last guy, Draylon Miller, another 4-star guy with star development trait. You expect at least one of these guys to develop into a top player. And that's not what happens in this game, man. Then you got Sean Logan, a freshman, 64 overall. Then you press triangle on him, and you see his development trait, impact development trait, 2-star prospect. And then from my experience, this guy usually develops to be, by their senior year, he will be the best overall. We'll go through, we'll sim through. But from my experience, he usually develops to be the best overall player. So in my opinion, you should not really put a lot of investment into a development trait. You should more so think about, their skill caps. And for example, let's look at Cam McHale's skill caps, man. You go over to ratings, and you really can see what he can max out as. This guy, he can max out to be a very good player. He only have caps when it comes to power. And for a wide receiver, do that really matter? No. Do we really care about strength, toughness? We do care about injury, but we don't really care about trucking as well. So this guy could really develop to be a great player, but in this game, he does not, from my experience at least. All right, so I think at times we really look at these, development traits like Madden, especially, a lot of people that come over from Madden. It is not the same, man. In Madden, you got the X Factor, you got the star guys, whatever. It's not the same as Madden. When you see this star development trait in college football 25, you really need to think of it as, this guy could become a star player. When you see the impact development trait, this guy could be an impact guy. Even with elite, this guy could be elite. And then with normal, this guy could be a normal player, but he could become an impact guy. He could become a guy that really, is a star for our team. So, take the development traits with a grain of salt. And, we'll advance a couple years in the future on this one. And you'll really be able to see that, some of these guys just don't develop how you would think they would. And, some of the guys that's unexpected really will turn into star players for your team. So let's come over to cornerbacks. And we got Nahmir Robinson. This is Nate Robinson's son, the NBA player. And he's a 64 overall. Y'all see he's a redshirt freshman. And he's a 2-star guy out of high school with normal development. And you see his ratings. His ratings is damn near capped. He can't become an elite player, just from his ratings. His zone coverage can only go up but so much. And same with his man coverage. And, he started off pretty low. 67 overall man coverage. And his zone coverage is a 55 as a cornerback. Not great. Not great at all. Then you look at a guy like Colton Hood. He also has impact development, so higher development. Then he comes in as a 3-star, but he's a 79 overall, and they're in the same as that class. He's a redshirt freshman as well. And then you look at his development, and he could become a lot better player overall. Like, just because he don't have as many caps, and his zone coverage and his man coverage is starting off as a higher point. But as we advance, from what I believe, you will see, Nate Robinson's son, Namir Robinson, become a better player just because. I can't explain why, but it'll happen, and we'll advance so you can see. All right, so we advance to the next year. I move my face cam, and, we looking at the wide receiver room, and none of these guys progress super crazy, especially for some star impact guys that's fairly young. You expect a little bit more progression out of some of these guys. And let's first look at Cam McHale, man. First of all, his ratings are nowhere near capped, man. He could get a lot better as a player. And, he's a 79 overall. He's a star development guy. And I kind of want to explain really what star development means. All that means is he progressed faster than an impact guy. And he also progressed faster than a normal guy. But it do not mean he would get a big off-season jump. He may get a little bit more of an off-season jump than, a normal or impact guy. But it does not mean he will receive a big impact jump. So when you actually use him in gameplay, he would just get more XP than, an impact guy. And that's kind of how I perceive it. Y'all let me know in the comments how y'all perceive it. But, nothing says this guy will turn into a star player. He just has the possibility to be a star player. So, like I said, none of these guys really progress fairly well. And then we got our guy Sean Logan, who went up to a 69 overall. And honestly, this is one of the lower jumps I've seen for Sean. Sometimes he'll jump all the way up to an 81 overall after his freshman season. He didn't do it this time. Progression is very random. That's different for another conversation. Now, let's look at the cornerbacks. Colton Hood goes up to an 82 overall. From my experience, that's a great progression for this guy. He usually do not go up many overalls. He usually stay around that same, overall. But he went to 82, so that's good for him. And then Nate Robinson's son, Namir Robinson, he went up to 74. He went up 10 overalls this offseason. That's great to see. And he will continue to progress. But from my experience, after his first year, I've seen him go all the way up to a 78. So, this time he went up to a 74, and like I say, he got the normal. Colton Hood got the impact. So, it's interesting to see, but let's advance another year, and let's continue to look at progression and how impact, affect these guys. All right, so we advance another year in the future, so we're 2 years total in the future. Let's take a look at the wide receiver room. So, Cam McHale, progressing very well. 85, 86 overall with a 99 speed. That's great to see. He's only a sophomore. This is one of the best progressions I've seen for Cam McHale, man. Like I said, I have advanced a lot of years in the future. I have done a bunch of different dynasties for this Colorado. So I know how these players progress, and this is great to see. You typically don't see this for Cam McHale. 85 overall, that's great to see. Same with Marion Miller, 85 overall. He's a senior. He's an impact guy. It's good to see him at this high of an overall. Draylon Miller, 81 overall as a junior. He's a star development guy. 81 overall as a junior. Ideally, you want to see a little bit more. It is what it is, but ideally, you want to see him a little bit better, especially when you compare, Sean Logan, who was an 80 overall, only 1 overall less than Draylon. But, you look at him, he's an impact guy, 2-star, but, he's an 80 overall. So you expect a little bit more out of, Draylon Miller. Then let's look at Baby T.O., Russell. They call him Baby T.O. in real life. He's a star guy, 4-star. How the hell is he's only an 80 overall, man? How is he only an 80 overall? You even look at his caps. He is nowhere near to being capped, man. Nowhere near. But Sean Logan just wanted more. And that's kind of how I take it. Sean Logan just wanted more. So, he progressed all the way up to be an 80 overall. He started off as a 64. Russell started off around like a 74, 76, I believe, to be exact. I believe he started as a 76 to be exact. And he's only up to 80 overall. So, don't take these development traits to heart. These development traits only say what these players could be. And, they could never become that. And, that's what we're seeing as essentially with Russell right there. Let's come over to the cornerback room. Colton Hood is up to an 85 overall. That is great to see for him, man. As a junior, from my experience, he tends to progress a little bit slower. But to see him all the way up to 85 is great to see. Then now you have Nate Robinson's son. You know, Nahmir Robinson. He's up to an 80 overall. And you look at him, man. 2-star normal development. For him to even get to an 80 overall when he have all these attribute caps are great to see. Now his zone coverage is still dirt. 55 zone coverage don't play for me personally, but he's up to 80 overall. You know, so he's doing something right in this. You know, he's doing something right at least. But you know, I would love to see at least the AI at least put some attributes into his zone coverage so he can at least play on defense for me, because right now, you know, he just cannot hit the field. But let's advance another year and see what player progression does and see how impact and you know, different development traits essentially impact these players. All right, y'all. So we advanced another year in the future. We're at training results. We're in 2026, and let's take a look at the wide receiver room. So Russell, he jumps all the way up from an 80 overall to 86. So now he's our best receiver, man. Like I said, this is the guy last year that was at an 80, and you know, we was pretty much complaining why he wasn't going up in overall, but he jumps all the way up to be our best receiver. He has star development. Then Cam McHale is up to an 80. He did not move overall at all, man. He was an 86 overall last year. He's still an 86 overall. He started all season, and you know, his caps he's not capped out. He could get better, but for some reason he did not. You know, for some reason he did not get better. You know, we brought in this guy. I don't know about him, but Sean Logan. Sean Logan is up to 85 overall. Remind you, this is the 2-star impact guy that has high caps. He has high caps, but he is reaching his full potential for some reason. For some reason, he is reaching his full potential faster than, you know, some of these star and impact guys. And then also, let's look at Draylon Miller. This is a senior at this point, and he also has, you know, star development. But he is only at an 83 overall. He's the 4-star guy, and he is not nowhere near his caps, man. He could get a lot better with route running. His hands could get better. He could become a lot better player, but for some reason he will not. So you know, interesting to see. Let's look at the cornerback room and see what we have there. And you know, Nate Robinson's son, Nahmir Robinson, this time did not get any better. He is maxing out as an 80 overall. I have a whole different file where he gets all the way up to an 88. This time, this did not happen. Colton Hood, he did not improve at all from last season. He is staying at the 85 overall. And, you know, this is going to be his true, you know, max potential, essentially. Even though his caps are not at this point. You know, he could get better. He could get better. He just didn't for some reason. So, pretty much, I hope y'all really see my point here. You know, do not just primarily look at players, you know, development traits. Because at times, it really do not matter, man. You could have a normal development guy really out-progress, you know, a star or elite guy. And why? I can't really tell you because I really don't know. You know, some people say, well, if you play the normal guy and if you don't play the elite guy, you know, the normal guy's going to outprogress him. That's not how it seems to be, man. It really is random, man. And that's how it is in real life. So I see why they did it like that. You know, I'm not going to complain. But it really is random in real life. But if y'all have any ideas or theories, let me know down in the comments. But other than that, man, that's going to be the end of the video. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, all that. I really appreciate y'all for watching. But we on to the next one.